Lisa. I'm going to go ahead and wait at the restaurant for you guys. We're all gathering for our lunch today, right? I'm going to have to ask one of you guys to pay for me again.
Hey, Sarah. I had no idea that you were coming today. I was the one that organized this lunch, and I don't remember you telling me that you wanted to come. Are you really going to come?
I can't believe it. You're trying to leave me out of the group again? Why do you never invite me? You really do have a twisted personality, don't you? Why do you have to exclude me like this? I've never done anything to you to deserve this. Do you enjoy seeing me upset and all by myself?
I have no intention of excluding you from the group. It's just that you never told me that you were coming.
You should just assume that I'm coming. Do I really have to tell you that? I thought that it would be kind of obvious. You should try to use your brain a little more often. Anyway, I really want to come to lunch with you guys today. Please don't try to exclude me.
Okay, fine. You can come. Please would you bring your purse with you today, though? You always make one of us pay for you. It's really not fair on us. We don't mind you coming as long as you pay for what you decide to order. If you have no intention of paying for yourself from the start, then please don't bother coming.
Wait, what? You're asking me to pay to come? I really don't understand.
Why don't you understand? It's kind of obvious, isn't it? You should pay for what you eat. That's just how things work. I can't believe that I have to explain this to another adult that's the same age as me. Even little kids understand this principle.
I still don't get why I have to pay when I've done nothing wrong. You're the one that's doing something bad by excluding me from the group. I'm not wrong, am I? You're the one that's wrong. You have a twisted personality.
I'm sorry? Am I talking to a little child right now? I'm not even sure how to respond to what you just told me. Can we have a proper conversation like adults?
We are having a proper conversation. I felt really left out when I found out I wasn't invited to the lunch today. You should have invited me. I'm really, really annoyed because you chose to exclude me from this group again.
Okay, I admit that I didn't invite you this time round. I'm very sorry for that. However, there is a reason why I didn't invite you. All of us are tired of having to pay for you every single time. You never bring your own money.
What are you talking about? It's not every time. I just happen to forget my purse pretty often recently. We all make mistakes from time to time. Anyway, I've decided that I'm going to come to the lunch today.
Are you listening to what I am telling you at all? I want you to explain why you never bring your own money when we go out to eat. Do you really think that it's okay to keep making someone else pay for you? Do you not realize that asking others for money over and over again is very impolite?
I'm going to go ahead to the restaurant now. I'll probably be the first one to arrive. You guys better come soon or I'm going to eat all the food that you guys reserved in advance.
It seems like you have no intention of listening to anything that I'm saying to you. This is one of the reasons why I didn't invite you today. You really need to learn to listen. You also need to try to think about how other people feel. You always arrive before everyone else and eat a ton of food. Then you always leave early before the bill comes. We all have to pay for the huge amount of food that you eat every single time. This is why you're getting excluded from our group recently.
What are you talking about? You're not making any sense to me. That's not a valid reason to exclude me from the group. Do you not realize that I'm the most popular person in our group of mom friends? I think that everyone is really happy to have me at these gatherings.
You really do think positively about yourself, don't you? I'm not sure if everyone thinks the same way as you.
I know for sure that everyone wants me to come. You're the only one that's stopping me from coming. I can't believe how evil you are. This is all your fault. You're the reason why I don't get invited anymore.
Do you seriously think it's my fault that you don't get invited? I think it's very obvious that this is all your fault. You can try asking all our other mom friends. They're all going to say it's your fault that you don't get invited anymore.
Shut up! I know that you're lying because you have a terrible personality. It's so obvious that I don't get invited anymore because you're so mean.
Why don't any of our other mom friends invite you then?
I bet that you've also been spreading false rumors about me behind my back. That's why no one invites me out anymore. It's all your fault.
I am not spreading any rumors about you at all. I really don't understand how you can come to a conclusion like that. I don't ever recall ever saying anything bad about you behind your back.
Yeah, whatever. I'm not going to believe anything you say. I'm definitely going to come to lunch today and you can't stop me. In fact, you're the one that's going to pay for me today. This is punishment for trying to exclude me from the group.
What did you just say? I am definitely not going to pay for you.
Why not? I think that you have an obligation to pay for me after what you did to me.
I didn't do anything to you. Stop trying to act like a victim when you're really not. You really are such a self-absorbed person, aren't you? All you care about is yourself.
I do get told that I'm very self-confident. I take it as a compliment, though.
Self-confident isn't the word I would use. I would say that you're an arrogant brat.
Did you just call me an arrogant brat? I can't believe it. You really do have such a terrible personality. I think that you should be the one that gets excluded from the group instead of me. Everyone must hate you so much. I get annoyed just talking to you.
That's what I want to be saying to you. Anyway, I've had enough of talking to you. It feels like I'm talking to a brick wall. You don't listen to anything I say.
I'm glad we got everything sorted out. I'll see you at the restaurant for lunch.
Are you seriously going to come after what we just talked about?
I'm going to leave my house now.
Sarah, wait! I didn't say that you could come!
Lisa, where are you guys? How much longer are you going to be? I'm already pretty tired of waiting for you all.
Sarah, where are you right now? You're not eating steak at the restaurant, are you?
Actually, I've already finished eating all the steak. I ate 10 portions of steak. I'm so full. I need you guys to come and pay for it all so I can go home. I've finished eating already, so I want to go home. I think it would look kind of suspicious if I left before any of you get here. That's why I need one of you to hurry up and get here.
I have no idea what you're talking about. We never planned on eating any steak today.
Wait, what? Stop trying to lie to me. Don't scare me like that. I've already finished eating all the steak you guys had reserved. Would you please hurry up and come pay the bill?
I told you that we're not eating steak today. That plan was canceled completely.
Wait, what? You were serious about that?
We're all eating at a French restaurant instead right now.
I didn't hear about this. I thought that we were all eating steak today. You should have told me that it was canceled. I really had no idea that you guys were going to a French restaurant today.
I told everyone that was invited about a change of plans. It's a shame that you weren't invited, I guess. Also, you kept on being really insistent about wanting to eat steak, right? Well, I'm glad that you finally got to eat so much steak by yourself. You must be really happy right now.
I really don't understand what's happening right now. Are you telling me that none of you are going to come here today?
Why don't you understand? It's not that difficult to understand. You ate 10 portions of steak at a really nice restaurant by yourself. That means you're going to have to pay for it yourself.
What are you talking about? You were the one that organized this lunch. It should be your responsibility to pay for this bill.
Why should I have to pay for the food that you ate? You were the one that ate at the restaurant. It's pretty obvious that you should be the one to pay for it.
No, you should be the one to pay. This was organized by you, right? Please, help me get out of this situation right away.
The lunch gathering that I organized is taking place at this French restaurant we're all at. I have nothing to do with the restaurant you just ate at. As the organizer, I did make sure to exclude one really rude woman that kept on causing us a lot of trouble.
Wait, are you talking about me? Did you just call me a rude woman?
Of course I'm talking about you. There's no one else it could possibly be.
Why do you have to be so mean to me? I'm getting really upset now. I can't believe that I've been excluded again. I also have this really expensive bill in front of me now. I ate so much expensive steak because I had no intention of paying for any of it. I was thinking that one of you guys would pay for me. What am I meant to do with this bill?
Well, you should probably pay for it because you were the one that ate it all. There's no point trying to ask me for help. I have nothing to do with it.
But you were the one that organized the lunch today.
That has nothing to do with this. You went to that restaurant and ate there out of your own will. I'm really surprised that you can eat 10 portions of steak all by yourself. What I'm even more surprised about is that you're trying to force the payment of the food that you ate onto us. You really are the most selfish and self-absorbed person that I've ever met.
Wait, I just realized what's going on. This is a prank that you guys are trying to pull on me. You guys are all waiting outside of this restaurant, right? You can come in already. I know what's happening.
Unfortunately for you, we're not pulling a prank on you at all.
It's not a prank? So, I'm really going to have to pay for this entire bill by myself?
You're starting to get annoying now. I don't want to keep on repeating the same thing over to you. You seem to dislike me anyway. Why are you even asking me for help in the first place? Please figure out how to solve this by yourself. I'm going to tell you this one last time. I have absolutely no intention of helping you get out of this situation.
Actually, I really like you. The things that I said to you before was all a lie.
Oh, stop going back on your words just because you're in trouble right now. I thought that you were very popular amongst our mom friends. Why don't you ask one of them for help instead? You're very popular and everybody else except me wants to invite you out to eat, right? You should be able to get someone to help you out right away.
I've tried asking for help, but nobody is replying to me.
Well, that's the reality. You're not that popular among our group of mom friends at all. It's not just me that didn't want to invite you out to eat.
What you just said really hurt my feelings. I think I'm about to cry. Don't insult me like that. You're so mean.
You can go ahead and cry all you want. It's not going to get you out of the situation that you're in. I wasn't insulting you at all. I was just telling you the truth.
What am I meant to do now? I don't have any money on me, and this place was super expensive. I didn't even check the price of the menu before ordering because I thought that you guys would be paying for me. You should see how much they're trying to charge me. It's such a ridiculous amount of money.
Well, that's your fault. You should have checked the price of the menu before ordering. There's no point in asking me for help anyway. The restaurant you're at is way too far away from here. Why don't you just ask your husband for help? He's probably the only person that can get you out of the situation you've managed to put yourself in.
There's no way I can ask my husband for help. I can't ever tell him about this. If he finds out that I did something like this, he's going to divorce me. He's going to be really disappointed in me if he finds out all about this.
Yeah, he's going to be disappointed for sure. Me and all our other mom friends are really disappointed in you as well.
Please don't be disappointed in me. I thought that we were friends. Please just help me out. The waiters at the restaurant are starting to look at me really weird. I think it's because I've been sitting here with the bill in my hand for over an hour now. Look, I'm really sorry for everything I've done to you over the past few months. I promise that I'll be nicer to you in future. Would you please be able to come to this restaurant and pay for my bill? I really need you to do this for me.
I am not going to go. How many times do I have to tell you this? I think the waiters have every right to look at you weirdly. You should just give up and pay the bill. There's no other way you're going to get out of this.
I told you that I don't have any money on me. We wouldn't be having this conversation if I had the money. I only have $5 in my purse.
I'm shocked that you managed to go into a restaurant like that with only $5 on you. I actually respect you for how brave you are.
Please, lend me money so I can pay for this bill, if you really respect me.
I'm not going to be lending money to someone that has no intention of paying it back. I'm not stupid enough to lend money to someone like you.
I promise that I'll definitely give the money back this time. I really, really mean it.
Sorry, but I'm not going to change my mind. 10 portions of steak might be expensive, but you should be able to pay for it. You've saved up so much money in the past by making us pay for all your food. Why don't you use the money that you pretty much stole from us?
I've already used all the money that I saved from making you guys pay.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you this. We all decided that we're going to ask you to pay us back for all the money that you borrowed from us. We've all kept the receipts whenever we paid for your food. We decided that we will tally up the total amount and send you an invoice.
Pay you guys back? For what?
For all the times you left without paying the bill after you ate with us. Every single time you left early, you told us that you would pay us back eventually. None of us have received any money back from you. That's what we're going to ask you to pay us back for.
Wait, hold on a minute. Isn't that taking things a little too far? I don't think I deserve that at all.
What are you talking about? Of course you deserve it. You borrowed money from us, so you have to pay it back. It's not that difficult to understand, is it?
I still intend to pay you guys back eventually. It's just that I don't want to have to pay it back all in one go.
We decided to ask you to pay it back in a lump sum because it doesn't seem like you have any intention of paying us back. I really doubt that you've even been keeping track of who you borrowed money from.
Maybe I lost count, but I can still try to calculate it somehow.
Like that's going to work. Have you finally realized the reason why you don't get invited to eat out with us? It's not because I'm being mean to you. It's because we're tired of you borrowing money from us every single time. We no longer trust you at all or see you as one of our friends.
That is such a mean thing to say to me. Now is not a good time to be saying mean things to me. I'm already in enough trouble as it is. I don't have any way to pay for this bill that's in front of me.
I really hope that you learn from this experience. Please make sure to think about other people in the future. You're not the center of this world.
I promise that I'll learn from this experience. Please, help me out just this once. I promise that I won't bother you again in the future.
Please, just ask your husband for help. Stop trying to get me involved in this.
I told you that I can't ask him. Who else could help me get out of this situation?
One thing that I can say for sure is that nobody that is here at lunch with me is willing to help you out. That's pretty much all your mom friends, right?
I can't believe this. All of you are planning to abandon me here?
Oh, don't try to make it sound like we're doing something bad. You're the one that took the actions that led to the situation you're in right now. Stop trying to guilt us into helping you out. This is all your own responsibility. I no longer want to be friends with you from today. Please refrain from contacting me ever again.
What are you talking about? I thought that we were good friends. Don't say things like that to me.
You were telling me that you disliked me until a little while ago. You accused me of excluding you from our group. I really don't want to have to deal with you in the future. I get really stressed out just talking to you. I'm going to be blocking your phone number. Please don't bother trying to contact me from another phone.
Are you really serious about this? Is there really a need to block me?
I am dead serious. It's not that big of a deal anyway. We were never that close in the first place. There's no problem with me blocking you, right?
Stop being so mean to me. I'm already having such a terrible day. I don't know if I can take any more bad news today.
Actually, I can't block your number yet. I almost forgot.
Oh, thank you for being so understanding. Did you finally decide to finally forgive me? Are you going to come and help me out now?
No, I am not. I can't block your number till you've paid back all the money you owe me.
That's what you meant? So you're not going to help me?
Oh, stop asking that! Please, just hurry up and pay me back the money you owe me. I'm also going to contact your husband about this, as I don't trust you at all. I'm sure that he will pay me back as soon as he finds out what's happening.
Wait, what did you just say? You can't talk to my husband about this.
I'm sorry, but you don't get to decide that. I'm going to contact him as I'm tired of waiting for you to pay me back. You may as well ask him to pay the bill that's in front of you right now. He's going to find out about everything either way.
I can't believe that you're doing this to me. I'm begging you, please do not tell my husband about this.
Oh, you really don't have a choice. You're going to have to ask your husband for help. None of your friends are going to come and help you out. I think you need to recognize we're not friends anymore. Sarah would always go home without paying any money toward the bill when she went out to eat with her mom friends. This time, she invited herself to a group lunch that she wasn't even invited to. She ate 10 portions of steak at the restaurant with no intention of paying for any of it. She tried to force Lisa to pay for all the food that she ate. Lisa and the rest of the mom friends knew this was going to happen and decided to reserve a different restaurant at the very last minute. Sarah had no idea that they had changed restaurants and ended up having to pay for the 10 portions of steak that she ate by herself. Unfortunately, Sarah didn't have any money on her and begged Lisa for help. However, Lisa and the rest of the mom friends used this as an opportunity to ask Sarah to return all the money that she'd borrowed from them. Sarah had no choice but to ask her husband for help. Sarah's husband found out about all the terrible and selfish things that she had done to all her mom friends. He was really mad and very disappointed in her. He immediately visited all her mom friends and paid back all the money that she owed them. However, he demanded that she pay him back for all the money that he returned. Sarah ended up finding a part-time job the very next day. Currently, she is working long hours so that she can pay back all the money to her husband. Sarah never turned up to eat out with her mom friends ever again. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please consider subscribing and pressing the like button.
Jason, I know you're there. Pick up the phone, please. This isn't what you think.
Oh, shut up. There's nothing to talk about.
You don't understand. Just let me explain.
What exactly is it that I don't understand? I know exactly what I saw, and it wasn't a pretty sight. Besides, it's not that hard to figure out what you were doing.
No, that man is just one of my business clients. We were in the middle of a meeting.
Oh, I see. So you were having an affair with one of your business clients in broad daylight, right in the middle of the workday? Is that what you're saying? Do you really think that you can make up any excuses for what I saw? Oh, but that's right. You work in sales, so it's nothing new that you're out of the office during the day. I bet your colleagues would never suspect that anything was wrong, but it's pretty obvious what you've been up to. I bet you just made some excuse about going out for a sales meeting, only to use our bedroom as the meeting place. An empty bed with no one at home. You thought that it would be the perfect place for you to get all hot and bothered with your so-called business client, or rather, your lover. But I guess you weren't expecting me to come home at that time, huh? I was surprised to find you at home in the middle of the day, but I bet that you were much more surprised.
No, I can explain. We were really discussing business matters at a coffee shop, but he started to feel unwell in the middle of our meeting, and we weren't close to either of our offices. That's why I decided to bring him here, so he can rest. You know, that's all. You have to believe me.
No, I don't know. So why don't you explain the reason why you were also naked then, and in the same bed with him?
Well, anyways, why don't we just come home first? I'm sure that we can clear everything up then. Let's both be calm and talk this over before we start making any assumptions. Okay?
Let me tell you something. I was already convinced that you were having an affair before I even opened the bedroom door, just so you know.
What do you mean?
You must have been very aroused because I was able to hear you as soon as I walked in through the front door.
Oh my gosh. You're kidding, right?
Yeah, you should be embarrassed of yourself. Anyways, from there, it wasn't too hard to figure out what was going on. And I guess you're right, that perhaps I wasn't thinking clearly at the time. I mean, who in their right mind would actually go so far as to open the door in those circumstances? I pretty much walked in there knowing that I wasn't going to like what I found. But as soon as you two realized I was there and just started scrambling to cover yourselves up, it was like some switch just turned off inside of me. The entire scene was such a turnoff, and I just automatically grabbed my phone so that I could record it as evidence. You should have seen your faces, like a deer in headlights.
I don't know what to say.
Anyways, I'm still not sure if I'm thinking clearly or not. So I'm gonna move out for a while until I can be sure. I definitely didn't expect to come home to your sexual rendezvous with a complete stranger. I'm sure that you can understand why I don't want to see your face or hear your voice right now.
What?
Oh, and by the way, I've already figured out the identity of your lover as well. Since you conveniently left your clothes strewn all along the hallway, I was able to find one of his business cards in his jacket pocket. I'll be hanging onto it because I think it'll come in handy at some point.
Wait, hold on. Give me a moment to process this. You're gonna come home once you've calmed down though, right?
Sure, I guess you can say that.
Okay, fine. Then I suppose I can accept your decision to move out for the time being. But promise me that it's only a temporary arrangement.
We'll see. I'll be in touch.
You'll see that this was just a big misunderstanding as soon as we're able to discuss what happened. You just need to give me the chance to tell you my side of the story as well. So promise me that you'll come back, okay?
Brandon, I'm sorry for the sudden message at this late time, but there's something I need your help with, as a lawyer and as a friend. Jason, yeah, what's going on? Is everything okay? Are you in some sort of legal trouble? It's not exactly legal trouble per se, but my wife has been having an affair. I don't know exactly how long it's been going on, but I was able to get back from my business trip earlier than I expected today. I stopped by the office first, but my manager said that I could take the rest of the day off. So I decided to go straight home so that I could get some rest. But as luck would have it, my wife and her lover were there as well, in our bed. I'm sure it's not that hard to imagine what they were doing, and the moment that I walked in was right in the middle of the act. Oh man, I am so sorry to hear that. Were you able to get any proof? Yeah, I recorded them naked in bed together. The video is on my phone. And I was also able to obtain the guy's business card, so I know who he is. That's good. It's an unfortunate circumstance, but at least your story is solid. To be honest, I don't even know if I'm thinking clearly right now. I probably haven't been able to process everything I've seen yet. I'm feeling a bit lost, to tell you the truth. It's definitely not something that you want to handle by yourself. It's too much to take on for sure. You think so too, right? That's why I want to confront her in the presence of a lawyer the next time. Would you be willing to help me? Of course. Leave it to me. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it. Hello, Nicole.
Jason, is it really you? I've been waiting for your message. Are you finally ready to come back home? I want you to know that I've been making dinner for the both of us every night, thinking that you would have been home by now. But it's already been more than a week since you left.
I'm on my way there now.
Really? You're finally coming home? I'm so glad that we can finally resolve this. I can't wait to see you.
Hey, what were you even thinking? Opening the front door dressed like that? And did you really think that I would fall for your sad puppy dog eyes? And now you've locked yourself in the bathroom because you realized that I didn't come here alone. What is wrong with you? I'd be knocking on the bathroom door telling you to come out, but you don't even answer. You can't keep ignoring me like this, you know? Stop acting like such a child and own up to your mistakes. I thought that we were going to talk about what happened the other day.
I know, but it's not fair. Isn't that your friend Brandon? You never said anything about him coming here with you. Otherwise, I would never have opened the door wearing just lingerie.
Oh, really? You have the nerve to have an affair and bring the guy into our bedroom, but you actually claim to have any sense of shame? That's just ridiculous.
What?
Well, on the other hand, all I could do was laugh in your face as soon as I opened the door and found you dressed all slutty like that. Did you really think that I was going to fall for that?
Well, you didn't have to laugh at me like that then. I was already more than embarrassed as it was.
Well, it was so obvious what you were trying to do, and I just couldn't get over your stupidity.
What do you mean?
You had no intention of having any discussion to begin with, right?
Huh?
I bet you were just planning to use your sexuality to entice me into the bedroom so that we could have sex and make up, right? You thought that we could just mend our relationship like that. It's not that simple.
What? That's not. Well.
Huh? So it looks like I was right.
Ugh, this isn't how it was supposed to be. Why did you have to ruin everything? Yes, you're right about me having an affair, but don't worry. I don't plan on divorcing you or anything. There. We're done having our discussion now, okay? You can just forget about what you saw and let's put this behind us so we can move on.
You're kidding, right? What do you mean that you're not planning on divorcing me?
Is it that hard to understand? I'm saying that I'll still be your wife. We can just go back to how things were before any of this happened.
What? Don't you even have any remorse about what you've done?
Why should I feel bad about anything? It's your fault that my boyfriend dumped me in the first place.
Oh, so you guys are no longer together, huh?
That's right. And he was such a jerk about it too. He blamed me that you found out about us because he had no idea that you'd be at home that day. He wants to make it seem like it's my fault that we had to break up, but I didn't know that you'd be home either. And on top of everything, we were both fired from our jobs.
Both of you fired, huh?
Why do you seem so indifferent about it? You know exactly why that happened. You were the one who revealed our relationship to our companies in the first place.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I sent a claim to the HR department of both of your companies. I told them I was concerned about their employee training and education policies, especially since certain married employees think that it's acceptable to be engaged in sexual relations in the middle of the workday.
I've already lost my job, but if we also end up getting a divorce because of this, I won't have the means to support myself anymore. So that's why it should be your duty as my husband to support me from now on. Since I'm no longer going to have an income now, thanks to you, you have to make sure that I can live comfortably.
Is that the reason why you don't want a divorce?
That's right. Well, I'm not going to lie, but the way things ended with my boyfriend left a bad taste in my mouth. But there's nothing that can be done about it now. And everything worked out in the end, so that's good, right? I mean, there's no reason for us to get divorced anymore. And that definitely works in your favor as well. You no longer have to risk losing your lovely wife because I know how much you love me. Anyways, since that's settled, you can have your friend go home now. I'm not going to be able to come out of the bathroom until he leaves, so can you ask him right away?
Are you really that stupid? Don't you realize why I even asked Brandon to come with me in the first place?
What do you mean? Wasn't it because you were embarrassed about coming home by yourself? I know that it was a bit of an awkward situation when you decided to leave, so you needed moral support from your friend, right? It's understandable though. It was the first time we had such a serious fight since we were married. But don't worry, I don't blame you for bringing him along. I know that he's a good friend of yours, and you probably needed him to encourage you to come home today.
Yeah, he's a good friend, but Brandon is also a lawyer, just to let you know.
A lawyer? But why?
I asked him to come with me today so that we can discuss our divorce.
What? Our divorce? Why do we need to get divorced?
Do you honestly think that this is just something that we can pretend never happened? There has been so many contradictions in what you've been saying this whole time. I don't even know where to start. Don't you even think that there's anything wrong with what you're saying?
I don't understand.
Then let me be clear with you. You had an affair, and I want a divorce because you were unfaithful. There's no point in denying the facts.
But that doesn't make any sense either. I told you that my boyfriend and I already broke up. I'm not doing anything unfaithful right now, so I don't see any reason for a divorce anymore.
You're kidding, right? And I hope you're not under any misconception that I still have any feelings towards you, right?
What do you mean? Of course you still love me. Isn't that why you asked me to marry you in the first place?
Oh, you're hopeless. I loved you enough to want to spend the rest of my life with you. But that was because I was drawn to your kindness and your genuine personality. As soon as you betrayed me with your infidelity, those feelings towards you completely disappeared. Did you honestly think that I would still love you the same way after what you've done?
What? Are you saying that you don't love me anymore?
That's right.
You're just joking, right? You were the one who was head over heels in love with me and practically begged me to marry you. How can that change because of one small mistake I made? I guess your love for me wasn't as big a deal as you made it out to be.
Don't you get it? The way you betrayed me made any feelings I had towards you meaningless. Don't try to make it seem like you had no part in this. You really need to stop being so self-centered all the time. It's about time you start taking responsibility for your actions.
How dare you?
I didn't come here thinking that I would have to explain something so simple. I'm really starting to get a headache because of your inability to accept the truth.
Don't say that. You can't be serious about wanting a divorce.
Anyways, just come out of the bathroom already. I'll have Brandon wait in the living room so that you can change to something more presentable. Seriously? I have had enough of your stupid games already. Now you're gonna lock yourself in the bedroom. What is wrong with you?
But you never said anything about my parents being here. You tricked me.
They arrived while you were holed up in the bathroom.
You invited them? But why?
Of course I asked them over. It's because of you that we're even in this situation to begin with.
But that doesn't mean you have to also involve my parents. There's no reason why they need to know what's going on.
Of course they need to know, especially because you keep trying to deny the truth like that. We'll never get anywhere with this if it's left to your discretion. My parents should be arriving soon as well.
What? Why?
You keep saying how there's no reason for a divorce, or that you'll let me stay married to you, like you're doing me some kind of favor. But in reality, I want to get a divorce, and the sooner it's done, the better. I also realize that there's no point discussing this matter with you anymore, since you're too much in denial, and it would be just a waste of everyone's time. I'm ready to move forward with the divorce proceedings, but you keep hindering my efforts. That's why I asked both of your parents to be present for this discussion. Perhaps they would be more help to me.
This can't be happening. But you should have said something about it beforehand. At least give me a heads up about what you were planning. This is too unexpected.
I purposely didn't say anything to you about it before today, because if I did, even as a courtesy, you would have tried to avoid this situation as much as possible. Exactly like you're doing now. And you're acting like a really big coward, you know?
This is just crazy. Fine, have it your way then. You want a divorce, right? I'll let you have your divorce, but only under certain conditions.
Conditions?
You have to pay me $50,000 in damages.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Those are the conditions if you want to get your divorce. Wait, you didn't think that it would be so easy, did you? I can't believe that you actually thought you'd get away without paying. Do you have any idea what you're doing to me?
Of course I wasn't gonna pay you a single cent. What reasons do I have for that anyways?
Oh, for heaven's sake. Let me explain then. You see, I lost my job because you decided to reveal my relationship with my boyfriend to my HR department. If you had kept your mouth shut, I would still have my job. Since I no longer have a stable income anymore, it has to be your duty to stay married to me so that you can support me. But you're just so adamant about getting a divorce and won't even give me the chance to convince you otherwise. So, what other choice do I have than to concede to your demands and agree to this divorce?
Is that why you think you have the right to claim damages from me?
Exactly.
You're really something, you know? I still can't believe how you can be so optimistic about everything. I don't know what kind of fantasy world you think you live in, but it's about time that you face the reality of this situation. You do realize that you're the underlying reason why we're even in this situation, right?
No, you're wrong.
Well, at least I can be certain that I made the right decision in asking Brandon to accompany me today. Perhaps you would be more inclined to listen to the reasoning of a professional lawyer.
Huh? What do you mean? Why do I have to listen to what your lawyer friend has to say?
You'll see why yourself. But first, are you finally dressed now?
Well, yeah. I mean, it was getting pretty cold just sitting in my underwear, so I'm fully dressed now. But what does that have to do with anything?
I was just asking as a courtesy, but I was planning on forcing my way into the bedroom regardless, so it doesn't really matter.
What? Wait, you can't do that! Besides, I locked the door from the inside so you can't get in. But if you promise that you'll pay the amount that I said earlier, then maybe I'll consider unlocking this door.
You must be in quite a panic since it seems like you've forgotten about an important detail. Remember that you can enter the bedroom through the walk-in closet as well.
Crap.
Right after that, we all charged into the bedroom from the walk-in closet and surrounded Nicole so she could no longer get away. After putting up quite a fight, I guess she finally realized that there was no way to avoid having this discussion anymore. Although unwillingly, she remained calm so that we could get down to business once and for all. That's when Brandon stepped in to take the reins. After having her sign the divorce agreement, he got into the settlement. The fact of the matter is, I guess I never trusted her fully, since I had jokingly included a line in our marriage contract stating that the cheating party forfeits any claims to our marital assets. While neither of us took it very seriously at the time, Brandon made sure it was legally binding, and the screaming and crying that ensued after Nicole fully understood what that meant was so dreadful I could hear it for days afterwards. There was nothing she could do about it though, and that was the last day I saw her. Everything was finalized smoothly, and I took Brandon out for drinks to thank him. I wouldn't wish this kind of nightmare on my worst enemy. But my advice to you good folks out there, have smart friends.
Hey, Judy! A little birdie told me that you were going to be going out on a trip. Where are you planning to go? Come on, tell me!
Good evening, Kelly. Did you perhaps hear about it from some of the other women at the kids' bus stop? I guess gossip does tend to spread while we're waiting for them to arrive.
Yes, that's right.
Of course you would hear about it.
Come on, there's no need for that sulky attitude. So you're going to be going with Sarah and Lisa, right?
Well, yeah, sort of.
Then you just have to let me come along, too.
I'm sorry.
I've always wanted to go on a trip with some of the other moms. I've been hoping to do something like that for ages now.
Look, I don't really know how to put this gently, but we didn't invite you. Sorry.
What do you mean?
Look, we've already planned everything out for our whole group.
What? It wouldn't be that hard to add one more person to the trip, would it?
I'm really sorry, but it actually would. All of our reservations have already been made with our specific group, and we can't just add people on a whim. I'm sorry, but you just can't come.
Really?
Look, this isn't meant to be just some fun group outing to begin with.
So, you're saying to just let it go then?
When we actually are just doing something for fun, I'll invite you, I promise. Could you please just stop asking about it?
Oh, come on. I'm part of the group too, aren't I? Why do I have to be excluded from this? Do you really think I'd just be fine with being left out of the loop and then being told to shut up when I finally find out?
No, like I said, this isn't a trip we're going on for fun, so we're not trying to exclude you from anything.
Well, if you aren't trying to exclude me, then you should have no problem with letting me come along.
I don't. Seriously, what are you talking about? Have you not understood a word I've said?
Once you've got the date and details hammered out, be sure to let me know, okay? And since I'll be coming along, you can just leave the details of the trip to me. It'll be my treat.
No, I told you before, we've basically planned everything out already.
Nope, that just won't do it all. Well then, it's decided. This will be a fun trip for all the local moms, and I'll take charge of everything.
You really haven't paid any attention at all, have you? I've already said that this isn't some trip we're doing for fun.
You can handle all the other work, right? Right, I'll leave that other stuff to you.
What are you even saying anymore? Do you really think I would agree to something so utterly vague?
Do you really think it's okay to be talking to me like that?
And what of it? It's not like you've been listening to a thing I say anyway.
Well, I know that your husband and mine both work at the same company, but your husband is my husband's subordinate, right?
Oh, is that so? I'm afraid I just don't remember.
What? You mean you didn't know?
I mean, whether I knew or not doesn't really matter, so...
Right. Well, you know now, and that's what matters. If you try to stab me in the back about this, I'll be sure to say something to my husband about it.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, I'll be leaving all of the preparations to you.
Are you seriously just only hearing what you want to hear?
Oh, I'm so looking forward to it.
Hold on, Kelly. I hope you realize I haven't agreed to any of this. Hey, Judy, is now a good time? Yeah, I'm free right now. What is it? Well, I wanted to apologize. Apologize? About what? Well, it's about Kelly. I just got off of the phone with her, and she was really angry. She was shouting at me for a while, actually. It sounds like my son John told her son about her trip, the day we were leaving, the bed and breakfast, everything.
Oh, no.
Apparently, her son stole one of John's favorite toys and gave him an ultimatum. Either John told him everything he knew about the trip, or he'd break the toy and throw out the pieces. That's what John said anyway.
I don't believe this. I can't believe Kelly would go so far as to rope her son into her scheming. Having him threaten to break another kid's toys? What's wrong with her? Well, I think it's safe to say that Judy put her son up to it at least. I don't see why he would have asked for that info otherwise. Is John okay?
Yes, he's fine now. Kelly's son kept his word and returned the toy, thankfully. I agree, though. Kelly has to be the one who made her son do it. I feel like I've heard similar stories in the past, too.
Honestly, what in the world does she think she's doing? Making her son do these things? Does she think he's her personal thug or something? I feel bad for him. I hope that he doesn't end up with all the kids hating him, or worse, that he actually starts wanting to pick on other kids for fun.
Yeah, I don't think Kelly even cares what her son thinks about the whole thing, let alone what this is doing to him. Anyway, I'm sorry that the plans got leaked.
No, don't worry about it. There's nothing for you to apologize for. But we definitely have a problem now.
Yeah, I know. That woman has always been trouble. She just thinks she can invite herself along on whatever excursion someone else is going on. I heard that a while ago a local family was planning a trip, and she just invited herself along, trying to change their plans to center around her. It was a mess.
No way. Are you serious?
That's not all, actually. Apparently the day of the trip, the dad of the family caught a fever, so the trip got canceled entirely. Not knowing that, Kelly and her family just went to the intended trip destination anyway. When she learned that the hotel reservations were canceled, she flew into a rage. She completely went off at the poor family about how they tricked her and that they should pay for her gas that she wasted and other such things.
Ah, that's utterly deplorable.
Well, she seems to be up to her pig-headed ways again with us. I've got a feeling this is just a strategy of hers to get free trips out of people, invite herself along, then demand she be compensated for being tricked or something.
Seriously. Well, I guess I wouldn't put it past her. Her husband seems about as dramatic as she is too, so I think it's safe to assume that the whole family's gonna try to come along with us.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, I've got an idea. Let's get in touch with Lisa and see if we can think up some countermeasures so she doesn't ruin the trip.
Sounds good to me, I'm in. Sorry about all this. This really turned into a much bigger deal than I'd expected.
Again, you don't need to apologize. First, you're not in the wrong here. Kelly is. Second, this all started when I brought it up to you and Lisa at the bus stop anyway. Okay, I'm gonna text Lisa and let's see if we can meet up and plan things out.
Roger.
Hey, Judy! I've got an update I need to let you know about. What is it? Tomorrow's meeting time has changed. Tomorrow? Well, we talked about how we were going to depart at 7, but the time's been changed to 9. I'm sorry, when did we ever talk about this? Well, that's all I needed to tell you. See you tomorrow. Hey, Judy! Why didn't you come meet up with us? Good morning, Kelly. What are you talking about? I told you already. We were planning to meet up at 7, remember? Don't tell me you aren't coming simply because you mistook the time. And not just you, Sarah and Lisa didn't arrive either. Well, I certainly wasn't going to go on a trip on my own, so I invited some family along. It's fine, you don't need to try to find some other way here. Ah, yes, I see. It wasn't easy getting all of our transportation lined up, I hope you know. I'll be expecting you to pay for the gas and other fees. Do you understand me? Well, if I'm understanding things correctly, you're the one who told us the meeting time was at 9, right? Well, sometime after that, the time got changed again. How strange. I was so sure I'd called you about that. Well, it's your fault that you didn't come on time, not mine. My family and I will happily enjoy this trip without you, okay? Bye-bye! Answer the phone, Judy. I know you're there. Answer me! Don't you dare try to just ignore me. What is it now, Kelly? We arrived at the bed and breakfast and we're going to check in, only for us to be told that the party with the reservation had checked in already. What are you thinking, trying to steal our vacation from us? If you're already here, then hurry up and get out. Sorry, we're out sightseeing at the moment, so I'm afraid it will be pretty difficult to do that, even if we wanted to. Excuse me. By the way, what are you even talking about anyway? You accused me of trying to steal your vacation. Did you somehow forget that that's exactly what you were trying to do to us in the first place? What are you talking about? It's your fault that you didn't arrive at the time we agreed on. Well, considering we never agreed on anything in the first place, I'd say that's not much of an argument. But that's not even the issue here. I'm talking about what you've been trying to do from the very beginning, not just your scheming yesterday to screw us over. I had never invited you on the trip to begin with. I actually flat out refused your selfish request to join in, or did you somehow forget? But that's not how it ended up. I ended up being a part of the trip. That's not how group planning works, Kelly. You can't just say you're coming on a trip without being invited, then start trying to push everyone around. All you did was try to force us to do what you wanted and follow your plans. You're the one at fault for excluding me. So, to punish you for your impoliteness, we are going to have you pay for our lodgings. So let me get this straight. Are you intending to stay overnight at my parents' house or something? I'm sorry. What do you mean by that? Oh, that's right. I forgot. You never actually pay attention to anything I say. Would it be easier if I wrote it in caps for you? Are you intending to stay at my parents' house? What makes you think you'd be allowed to stay? I can read what you write normally. Stop that. Still, what do you mean, your parents' house? The bed and breakfast you're trying to check in at? Do you notice how it looks more like a big house, not some high-rise hotel? That's because it's first and foremost a house. My parents' house, to be exact. With all of the websites for people who want to turn their homes into B&Bs popping up, my parents decided they'd do the same. With the location as good as it is, it's gotten pretty popular too. My parents manage the whole thing. What? And on top of that, this trip isn't just some leisure trip for local moms, as I've told you a number of times already. Don't try to pass it off as something else. Sarah and Lisa came with you, didn't they? What makes this trip so different? You even said you were sightseeing. Any way you look at it, this is just a fun trip between friends. A trip you wanted to exclude me from. If you're still thinking that, then you should actually pay some attention for once in your life and actually let me finish explaining. Sarah is my husband's cousin. Lisa is my husband's sister. Does that give you a hint as to who this trip is for? Or are you just gonna ignore it like you ignored everything else? You're all related.
Yes. This trip is because my husband's grandpa is turning 80. He wanted to make it a special occasion, so he invited all of our relatives. That's why our bed and breakfast is completely booked until tomorrow. It's family only, and all of the rooms were filled in advance. You couldn't even hope to make reservations yourself, and you certainly wouldn't be able to just walk in and get a room.
You're serious. That's what this was all about.
That's why I told you from the start that you weren't invited. I told you to stop asking about it. But of course you didn't listen to me, so here we are.
Well, if it's your family, then get them to open up a room for us.
No. Even if I inexplicably forgot about everything and suddenly wanted you to come along, it would be impossible. This is why I refused your request from the beginning. You're the one who just kept stubbornly forcing yourself into the planning. This is all on you.
Do you really think it's fine to be saying things like that to me? How dare you?
Oh, and here we go with this again.
I told you before, my husband is your husband's boss, or did you forget? It would be such a tragedy if your husband found himself first in line to be laid off, don't you think?
What is wrong with you? Why would you even threaten something like that?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just reminding you that the world is governed by survival of the fittest, that's all.
Ah, I see what you're getting at. Well, let me reply to you using that line of thinking, and maybe you'll actually understand.
Okay, I'll humor you. What sort of snippy remark do you have for me?
My husband's grandfather? He's the chairman of the board of directors of your husband's company. Did you know that?
What? He is?
Oh, and incidentally, the president of the company? That's my husband's father.
Are you serious? They're the chairman of the board and the president of the company. You're just trying to scare me, right? You're not actually telling the truth here, right?
I wonder. Well, they're both here at this family gathering too, obviously. They're also looking at this conversation we're having too.
No, you're lying. No! No way! You can't!
You never really know the social standing of everyone around you just at a glance, do you? I think you might do better if you didn't try to swing your husband's influence around like a club to try to get what you want. You never know when they might swing back harder.
So you're saying it's all true. The highest people in my husband's company are your in-laws.
Well, we need to get going to the next spot on our trip, so I'm heading off.
Please, wait. I'm begging you. We're in hot water over here. Our relatives are all criticizing my husband and me, asking what's going on and what's going to happen to them. They say they're going to disown us. No, wait, they're already leaving. Isn't there something you can do?
I don't think so. That sounds like a family problem. And I'm not about to force myself into family matters like some other person I know. I certainly wouldn't go putting my neck on the line for someone who uses her family as weapons to get what she wants.
Weapons? What are you talking about?
Oh, before I forget, before we get back to the house, please be sure to vacate the premises, or else we might need to call the police, okay? So, I'm just gonna put this out there first, but I may have pointed out how my in-laws have powerful positions in the company, but that doesn't mean they were gonna use their influence against Kelly's husband. The following day, they just called him in to warn him about how his wife was acting. They also told him that any baseless attempts to discredit his subordinates would not be tolerated, just to be safe. Even though her husband wasn't directly punished for what she did, the plan still was successful in changing Kelly's behavior. Ever since that day, she's been much quieter and hasn't been butting into the affairs of others. As for her husband, even though he was let off the hook, it seems like the incident hurt his pride so much that he didn't even come into work for days. On top of that, it was discovered he'd violated company policy multiple times, so he ended up getting demoted, along with a big pay cut. Things just got worse from there, and he eventually got fired entirely. Thanks to that, he and Kelly got into a huge fight at home, and they eventually got divorced. I can't say I had any idea what was going on in their house, given everything that happened. But at least for us, things have finally quieted down for the first time in a long time. Thank you very much for watching. Please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Please look forward to the next video.